Today, now everybody's raving.
Everybody's cheering, yeah. We really pumped up the juice today. I think everyone's excited.
So with that, Dan?
I was going to say Dan Orlovsky, Dan Graziano, Dan Smith, Dan Fortin.
And you got to start calling him Steve Smith.
His name is Steve.
Senior.
Correct.
Please.
Senior. Yeah. Steve Smith, Senior, ladies and gentlemen. Thank God we have all these football people because we're going to begin in Major League Baseball with the series of the weekend. Brew Crew are in LA to take on the Dodgers. This was a good one, and it's the first of four. Let's pick it up in the sixth. Dodgers down 2-1. Max Muncy pinch hitting. That one is up. That one is out.
See ya.
3-run shot. The 131st career home run at Dodger Stadium for Muncy. The most all-time in the park's history, passing Eric Karros, who was on the call last night. Dodgers lead 4-2. Top of the ninth, Edwin Diaz on to close it out.
Is that a good sign?
A collective groan in LA as things are going to go from bad to worse. This is Jackson Chourio up with runners on the corners, one out. Rips a single, run comes in. Brew Crew cut the lead to 1. Garrett Mitchell, he's going to get a crack. He's going to send it to right. Another run is going to score easily. Diaz, we've seen enough. He gets the hook. Fourth lone save in 10 opportunities this season. Only the Dodgers had some money to spend on the bullpen.
I know.
Alex Vesia in the pitch for LA. He's not going to fare any better. 2 on, 2 out. That's Jake Bauers, base hit. Chorio's in the score. Milwaukee scores 3 in the top of the ninth. The Brewers take the first of 4 in a 5-4 victory. Brewers are the first team to 75 wins for the second straight year, making them just the second team in the last 20 years to do so, along with the 2009 and 2010 Yankees. As for the Dodgers, more on their late game struggles with Buster Olney later in the hour. All right, to football. A lot of action on the gridiron last night, so we're going to begin with the Raiders and the Cardinals. And this guy, first overall pick Fernando Mendoza, arriving at the Big Roomba midway through the second quarter. Mendoza's second drive of the game. Dan, kid looked pretty good here.
This is awesome. This is the stuff we didn't necessarily see a lot at Indiana. Watch him underneath the center, dip on the fake, one hitch, ball comes out in between 3 defenders. This is flawless.
Malik Benson for 19 later in the drive. Steve Smith, we've seen the arm. Now let's see some legs.
Seeing some legs, showing the defense, keep your eyes down the field. That's always important, and that will be key for a young man that's a rookie.
Graz, here we go. We're going to finish it off. Later in the drive, Jack Bash for the touchdown.
Yeah, he looked awful good when he's throwing it. I didn't love the run. He put himself in harm's way.
Oh, jeez,
Jackson Dart.
In a meaningless game.
Put him in a bubble.
Finishes 10 for
How about
16,
this guy?
97 yards, 1 touchdown in his debut. Let's talk about it.
Orlovsky,
Jeremiah
I
Love,
told you this
third
guy was
overall.
good.
There's shades watching him run right now. A little bit of Adrian Peterson. He's so big and fast and sudden and physical. You saw the spin move. You saw the speed to the outside and the physicality, and then we're going to get to a hurdle. But if you're a Cardinals fan watching this young man run the football, this gives you so much hope for your future.
Sure does.
Steve Smith right here on the draw. Take me through it. I mean, defense dropping back. Here's an opportunity.
Here it comes.
Look how it goes over there. Hurdles a guy, keeps going. Take him out. Take him out. You can just see him, how he hits the edge, pats her forward. Right? Eyes, you can see him just steady, never standing still, just attacking, running downhill.
Grad's been calling it about how good he is.
11 carries.
He should have more guaranteed money than Jameer gives from Bijan Robinson.
58 yards.
Sense.
Cardinals go on to win 27-14. All right, so let's begin with Mendoza. What did we think of the debut of the number 1 overall pick?
Yeah, he was clean, he was sharp, there was competency, and it looked like he was in complete control. That's a good sign. You saw a couple third down conversions, which I loved. The ball came out at the right time to the right place. He made some decisions with his legs. He got through his progressions. We saw the underneath center play action pass that's in between those 3 defenders. So everything that you had hoped to see on display last night, you got a good glimpse of it, and there was a little bit of adversity with some of those third downs, and he ends off capping a really impressive drive, which was his second or third one with that touchdown pass. I think nothing but good last night for the Raiders and Mendoza.
I thought he did a really good job of just being a rookie. And what I mean by that is sometimes you come out and everybody has this pressure and this expectation. Everybody was saying, how's he gonna do under center? How's he gonna do turning his back to the defense? How's he going to? I've never really seen him laser it through double and triple coverage. Well, he did all those things, and he also made some rookie mistakes. He looked like deer in headlights. That is the whole purpose of a rookie, and that's the whole purpose of preseason. Get the jitters out, understand That is his first job, real live bullets on the job. He's going to make some mistakes, but allow him to make some mistakes while they count, and in the preseason, they count the most.
Last night showed why he was the #1 pick to some extent. It also showed us why the Raiders are doing this the way they're doing it. Kirk Cousins' first drive, he looked like he had mastery of the offense, which he does, because he's played in it before, and he's played in the league 15 years. And they want to wait, they want to hold Mendoza off until they feel like he's ready and that they're ready for him. They got to figure some things out at wide receiver. They got to figure some things out on the offensive line. So I think what we saw last night was a guy in Mendoza, we know when the lights come on what kind of player he is, right? So even if he wasn't this great in practice, it makes sense that, well, oh, it's a game now. Like, he hasn't played in a game since the national championship game. Was pretty good that night. Knows about the big moment. But he can take his time because they believe Cousins can operate the system the way they need it to while he gets up to speed. I think if you walked away last night thinking, I understand what the Raiders are doing.
Worth noting, Mendoza was pressured on 39% of his dropbacks last night. That's a storyline to watch, given the struggles the Raiders had protecting Geno Smith, who was sacked 55 times in 15 games last year throughout the course of the preseason. Let's go from Vegas to the Vegas of Pennsylvania. That would be Pittsburgh, said no one ever. And talk about another rookie quarterback performance. Dano, Steelers' third-round pick, Drew Allar, got some playing time yesterday and looked pretty good.
I thought he was exceptional. You know, the big thing for Drew Allar was it finally felt like and looked like the player and the production matched the hype. I've been following Drew Allar since he was a true freshman at Penn State. Such a highly recruited young man. And the potential was always the potential. It never actually played itself out on the field. And last night, what stood out was the feet were infinitely better, infinitely cleaner than his time at Penn State. The Mike McCarthy effect. If that is the starting point for this young man who's 6'5", 240 pounds, and could throw the ball through gale force winds. Gale force winds?
Gale force.
Yeah. Gale force winds.
Yes. Tropical storm.
This is an outstanding start for this young man.
This is exactly what you want from a third-round pick. You want to be able to develop a guy. He can sit and watch, whether you like Aaron Rodgers or not, where you believe he's if he's going to be a mentor. Aaron Rodgers is going to mentor him because he's sitting in a room. Aaron Rodgers, every question, every statement, everything he says in a room, everybody's listening. So this whole narrative that Aaron Rodgers is not a very friendly person, I think it's hogwash. He is a guy, and he has changed, and he also understands what this can do for the Pittsburgh Steelers overall when he can sit back. We all want to sit back and say, I helped that kid.
Sure.
And he has the opportunity to help a kid just like Jordan Love that you can go, people on the outside may not know our relationship, but the folks on the inside know that he really cares and he wants that young man to do well.
Yeah, that was underlined when you saw Jordan Love and Aaron Rodgers greet each other in the pregame last night. It's clear that there's a relationship there and that it was a good one. So this highlights the parallel tracks these Steelers are on right now. You hire Mike McCarthy. In part, one of their stated reasons for doing so is they felt like he had a track record of developing young quarterbacks. Also, you're hiring him because you think he's the experienced coach that can get you past the first round of the playoffs this year with Aaron Rodgers. So the Steelers are trying to accomplish two things at the same time. Win now and find their long-term answer at quarterback. Is third-round rookie Drew Allar going to be that? I don't know. They don't know either. He's a third-rounder. But they can use this year to find that out to some extent and then set up what they need to do next year. Will Howard, sixth-round pick last year. Drew Allar, third-round pick this year. Some options, but they're not overly committed to either one.
If you took just the positives of Drew Allar, whether it was his traits or his tape, he would be a first-round potential quarterback, okay? Now, there was downsides maybe because of some of the things that were a part of Penn State when it comes to the lack of players on the perimeter, his lack of own development, and whether that was
late game turnovers in big spots.
Totally, yes. Shrunken moments, no question. But the why of that. But if you are just playing the hits, there's first-round potential there. And so I think if you're the Steelers and you've been seeing some of the stuff that you've seen and by reports in practice from the young man, and you watched it last night, there's a lot to sit back and go, all right, let's continue on this track of developing this young man, because maybe they didn't need that first-round pick at the position, and they have a guy in Drew Allar that's certainly part of that conversation.
Steelers, go ahead.
We definitely have seen actual first-round draft picks not look that clean and not look that fluid.
100%.
So we need to stop worrying about where a guy gets drafted. We need to start.
What do you look like?
Yeah. What do you look like, and can you play?
Yeah.
Right. And then what we don't get to hear, we get to hear behind the scenes. What we don't get to hear naturally, a lot of times, is what he was not given in college. A lot of these college coaches, unfortunately, don't have the ability to coach the player. They end up coaching the playbook. Because if you take your time trying to develop a kid, he gets mad.
He's gone.
He gets mad when Chick-fil-A is not open on Sundays on campus, and it ain't open nowhere.
Yeah.
But they think because my NIL money, and I'm the guy that you're supposed to move mountains for me. That is the problem with college football. But now you don't have that. You're in the pros.
So you end up with Drew Allar sitting there in the third round. You're the Steelers. You're thinking long term. Hey, Mike McCarthy, what do you think? Well, there's talent here. I can fix the feet in one off season. Let's see if we can get him into Bill. It's only a third-round pick. If it doesn't work out, it's not the end of the world. It's not like we're taking Kenny Pickett in the first, to use a random example. But, I think I think if you're a Steeler fan, you come out of last night thinking, boy, it'd be fun. It'd be fun if the Penn State kid turned out to be the guy.
What would you do with Allar for the next start? How would you approach it?
I would continue to just focus on the development of his feet. You know, I think that the more you expose him to different situations and settings and getting him to play faster and quicker is going to be important, but there's only so much of that you can control. You can simulate some of that in practice, but exposing him to different situations. Maybe you're getting him some reps with, defensive linemen that might be more of the starting quality defensive lineman and seeing how he handles that. But if this young man continues to work at it, there's only, a huge trajectory to go up. I think if you're the Steelers, you're walking away. I'll mention Jeremy Bernard as well. I thought Jeremy Bernard last night was very impressive for the Steelers too. So, you're sitting there going, all right, there's a lot that we've liked from our rookie so far.
11 penalties for 134 yards. Welcome back preseason football.
And here comes the crowd.
I'm a top dog.
Oh, man, did he thread that? We are seeing a lot of darts. He takes off with his legs.
That's a great throw by the rookie.
The Mandalorian with his first Raider touchdown.
I'm a top dog.
Number 1 overall pick, Fernando Mendoza, made his preseason debut last night. So we have our quarterback, Dan Orlovsky, here to break it all down for us. What'd you see in Mendoza?
Getting through progressions and then playing fast. I want to go to the touchdown that is really a second down and third down combination. And the first thing is going to be getting through progressions. This is second down. You're at second and goal from the 13-yard line. You're thinking field goal now as a quarterback in this situation. This is a very good job of Mendoza getting through progressions. Now, I want you to see where his eyes start. His eyes are going to catch this snap. He's going to start to his left. His read, the back is going to where we call the flat. He's shooting there right now. It's going to be this linebacker. This is number 1 in the progression. That linebacker is going to go underneath. We have a receiver out here that's kind of coming and sending some form of traffic at that linebacker, trying to throw the ball to the back in the flat. You see Fernando is set up perfectly. I love this right now. His eyes and everything are pointing there. That linebacker is going to get underneath that receiver. I don't want to throw the ball to the back there. Number 1 in the progression. So he's going to reset. This is outstanding. You see his eyes start to the left, not there. Now he's going to reset into the middle of the field once again with his vision. Don't love the spacing between this number 2 and number 3 receiver. So the progression is number 1 not there, number 2 not there, number 3 not there. Everybody pay attention to really, this is number 4 in the progression, okay? This tight end is what we call a whip route. He's going to fake going out and come underneath. I want everyone to pay attention to Fernando's feet here are the focus point and him getting through that progression and understanding what the concept of the play is. Very well done. Okay, set to the middle field. It's not there. Now he's got a defensive end bearing down on him and getting to number 4 while getting hit, still placing that ball while it's only second down is meaningful. This is why it's meaningful, okay? You now have the opportunity to get a reasonable third and goal. We're going to flip the back. He starts left. The back is again going to go from the left to the right. When he does that, everyone at home, pay attention to those 2 linebackers, okay? What do? See where they start? Okay, they're there in the middle. He's there. What we do call boss over. They push over. Now, when they push over, this is what matters. He's got a slot receiver here. That slot receiver is going to run a little bit one-step slant. The defender's playing outside. Because these backers moved over, here's the soft spot. I'd love to throw the ball there. When Mendoza understands that and he has his back once again going to the flat, and tight end going to the flat, okay? These guys are going out and out. It's gonna pull these guys. The read is this defender. If this defender stays here, I'm gonna throw the ball to the right. If this defender moves this way, I wanna throw the ball here. Now in the red zone, the big thing is this. Face masker higher, belt buckler lower. Where's that backer go, Joe? He goes that way.
Yep,
He goes that way, belt buckler lower, touchdown. That's a combination of a second and third down, back-to-back snaps to cap off the drive. Very well done.
Very well done by you as well, because I don't think anyone at home realizes how difficult it is to do that. The amount of buttons you're pushing at the bottom, the way you're working through. You're already in regular season form.
I got to get in shape. I got to get in
you're
shape.
A little winded.
panting.
A little winded, the big stream being in.
You're panting.
Got to get in shape.
Time to run the hurry up with Dan Graziano. Graz, what can you tell us about Kyler Murray starting against the Giants?
I can tell you that Kyler Murray is going to start against the Giants. The Vikings named him their starting quarterback earlier this week. One of the reasons they settled their quarterback competition so early is because they want Kyler, who does not have experience in this offense, to get as many of these reps as he possibly can in practice and in preseason games. We will see Kyler Murray, I think, for a pretty good chunk of this game.
Yeah, make the main thing the main thing. And people I talked to there said they love what he's been doing. They're looking forward to showing and proving that he is ready to take over for the Minnesota Vikings.
Number 2, Graz, the Browns announced that Deshaun Watson will start in Cleveland's first preseason game. What's the latest there?
The plan in this competition between Deshaun Watson and Shadur Sanders is for Deshaun to start this weekend in Chicago, Shadur come in the third quarter, and then they're going to flip it next week in the home game against the Bills. Shadur would start, Deshaun would come in the third quarter. Ideally, they'd wait till after that second game to make a decision. We'll see if anything changes their plans.
For me, when I'm watching there, I want to see Deshaun Watson. Can he trust his body, right? A torn Achilles. Can he put his foot in the ground and throw the football? And will it be instinctive or cautious? And then trust what his eye sees.
First game action since October of 2024 for Deshaun Watson.
Woo, last one. Josh Allen will start tomorrow in the Bills' new stadium. What more do you have for us on that?
Josh wants to start at the stadium because it's brand new and he wants to get used to whatever his game day routine is going to be there. He doesn't want his first experience to be the home opener against Detroit that Thursday in week 2. So I don't believe you'll see Josh Allen in this game for very long, but one of the considerations here is it is a new stadium and everybody's getting used to sort of where everything is.
And given some of the sightlines in the stadium, some might not be able to see him at all.
I will. I'll be in the press box during the game for the Panthers,
nice.
so I'll get a good view of what's going on and his former teammate for the Carolina Panthers, but his new wide receiver, DJ Moore. Excited, my spirit animal, just so you know.
Expectations high for that connection this year?
Oh, extremely high, through the roof. Put him on your fantasy team.
Love it. We've
DJ,
got more NFL preseason action for you tonight as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers take on the New York Jets at 7 on the NFL Network and now also streaming in the ESPN app.